What's up, America? We're back. It's Reggie Florima, one half of the
Back
hard
in this
truth.
thing.
One half of the hard truth with my partner, my associate sidekick. I shouldn't say sidekick. Partner in
Yeah.
crime, Oliver Gibson. Together we make Big Flo O. What's up, O?
What's up, man?
Man,
Back in it. Checking in. It's been a couple of days and just checking out the draft and the pandemic specials on TV, and that's about it, man. Just hanging in there.
Lots of stuff's happened since we're back out here, guys, man. Lots of stuff. First time in a long time there's actually content being created on TV, so me and O had to enjoy that for a while. But we're back. We're here to talk about it, man. NFL draft, man, that brings me back. Every time I see that, and I like to watch it. I like to watch it to the end. Let's check out all the picks and see these guys, their dream come true, and kind of see what's going on. What'd you think about the draft format this year?
It took some getting used to. I mean, watching guys at home was a little weird. You usually like all the pomp and circumstance, and the fact that it's making big time. Cats are putting on their suits and all that. We're in a new stage of normal, and it was interesting. The thing I was most excited about in the draft was the Steelers pick up a Chase Claypool, the Notre Dame guy, and we'll get back to that. But I had the opportunity to talk to a former teammate of mine in the current NFL D-line coach, Brenson Buckner, and he was talking about
49ers, right?
How scouting – I'm sorry?
He was with the 49ers, right, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He was talking about how scouting was affected this past offseason. Mm-hmm. He said because the pandemic broke out the week before most schools had their pro days, that a lot of guys are going to get a chance to go to camp that would not necessarily get a chance to go to camp because they didn't have a chance to expose themselves in workouts. Coaches couldn't travel. They couldn't get to know the kids. So, there are a lot of kids who miss their pro days. So they are going to miss out on some athletes, but some athletes are actually getting a chance that they probably wouldn't get because they couldn't get a good evaluation. So it'll be different. It'll be decent. It'll be interesting to see how the talent level is affected in training camp.
It's interesting you say that because I thought of a notable that was not drafted was Thaddeus Moss, Randy Moss's son. And I remember he didn't run at the time.
He wasn't drafted?
He was not drafted. He got picked up in free agency by, I believe, Washington. Because I kept looking, where did he go? Because I wasn't watching as attentively as the rounds went on, and I couldn't find where he was going to, and I was really interested in it. I had seen somebody make a comment when the Bears drafted Cole Kmet that they should have drafted Thaddeus, and I was like, nah, whatever. Cole Kmet's better at least on paper than that, but I thought for sure this guy would be drafted. I mean, hell, he was invited to the combine, and I don't know if that's a percentage or something I could look at how many guys get invited to the combine and don't do it, but he didn't run. So I started thinking, wow, you know what? A guy like him, I think he's only 6'2", tight end, so he's not really the prototypical size for a tight end. Granted, he did it on the field and won national championship, and he's a big part of it. But I wonder, a guy like that, okay, man, if you don't go to this combine, you missed your opportunity, and now we didn't get a chance to see what you had to go do. And there was another guy, I'm not going to be able to give you the name to add color to it, but he ran a bad time at the combine. He I don't know if he had like an ankle issue or a hip issue, but we've all seen guys run a bad time at the combine. Like amazingly bad time, like a 4.6, 4.7, but he's a running back. And then whatever they did, they cleaned it up, and then a pro day, they ran a 4.4, right? Or they run a 4.5. Right when they're supposed to go run. You don't have a chance to erase it. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully we won't have another pandemic, but I think a lot of people might be nervous now. Like, what happens if I don't go to the combine or I don't do well? There's a lot of things to keep in mind.
Well, for years, they've been questioning the legitimacy of the NFL combine. Is it 100% necessary? I know you and I have talked in the past about the legendary combine performance of Terrell Suggs. Mm-hmm. He went to the combine and he screwed the pooch. He ran like a 5 or 5.1. Yeah. And he's on his second ring and 11th or 12th year in the NFL. So does it necessarily translate into football ability? I think this is one of those arguments that's going to bode against the necessity of the NFL combine. Because as my former teammate Brenson Buckner was saying, you got to depend on the film. If a kid can play football and you've been watching them all year, you've been watching the tape, you called his coaches, for how much credence they put into that, you're going to have to just make your assessment. And I think that's one of the things I like it because I'm not a great test taker. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Physical tests I've always been pretty good at. Other way around. Mental tests have always been good at. Physical tests, you don't want to put everything on one weekend. Because I remember when I was at the Combine, the one thing they used to say, and it was funny because it's the one place you can't wait to go your whole football career. And the minute you get there, you can't wait to leave.
I could imagine.
You can't wait to get the hell out of there. Everybody is ready to get the heck out of there. So I think this will put more credence more on your game film. I'm a game guy. What do you do on tape?
Well, there's a lot of guys that are good for it, and they shouldn't be. Like, remember we had guy Eric Jones. He was tall and skinny. He did not look like a defensive lineman. I remember as a freshman coming in looking at him thinking, how is this dude a football player? But he was a goon. He bought out. But there's no reason why he should be good. But he just was good. Thomas Knight, another guy that we played with. Thomas bench pressed like 185 pounds. He didn't weigh anything. He had no muscle tone or whatever. But he was smashing, right? He was good for no reason. Like, you had no idea why he was good. You take him to a combine, and there's no way in the world you're going to draft this guy. But when you bring him to your camp, he's going to make your left tackle look like a fool, and you're not going to understand why. Everyone's going to scratch their head. So I agree. I think film is there. We talk about sometimes you look at people who have good grades or they have bad grades, but they have a great ACT or SAT score, and you think, oh, well, okay, that got him in. But I think if you are that smart and your grades are poor, that's even worse. So if a guy runs a 4.25 40 and he's a wide receiver and he didn't jump off the film, that's even worse. You couldn't get open and you're that fast? That says you were an underachiever to me. You know what I mean? So I look at the film and I don't care. I mean, if the guy's getting caught from behind and then you look and say, all right, let me see what his 40 is so we can tell really how bad it is. Oh, God, this dude's a 4.8. There's no way. He's going to get caught all the time. I get that. But it's more of the exception than I think the rule, in my opinion.
So would you put the emphasis on film or on your workout?
Absolutely on the film.
So I think whether or not you can play football.
Yeah, on the film is 100% is where you look at the film. And then you kind of spot check with some of the combine, the testing. I don't even know that I guess for money's sake you want to go there and all look the same at the combine, but I think the pro days are more important. Another thing is football players, athletes in general, we're going to be creatures of habit, right? In high school when I played games, I got up, I went and had the same breakfast at the same place when I would go eat at the same time, and I would go do this, and I made the day comfortable for myself. I would go watch the sophomore game until halftime, and then I would leave. Everything was to do all rhythm. So when I was into a game, it was a comfortable environment. You take these guys that are going to do that. In the NFL, you're going to figure out your routine. In college, you figure out your routine and what works for you. And if it doesn't work for you and you're a star player, you're going to mention things that would help you out better. We all had guys that, we had Demetrius DeBose that would lay butt naked in the middle of the locker room, right? Spread eagle. That was part of his routine or whatever. Yeah. He wasn't able to do that, I'm sure, when he went to the combine to get himself in his mental state. You yourself, you probably made yourself in some sort of a furious rage and felt slighted, and then you got ready to go. You know what I mean? Everybody had their little thing. You go to the NFL combine, you've never been there before. It's not like you get to go and scout out I wasn't invited to the combine, so it wasn't scout out that you could really see your day. And then you put these people in an uncomfortable situation, and you put them through all these tests. What does that prove? They're never going to be in that scenario again. Right? They're never going to do anything like this again after today. They're going to go play football. You're going to have them on your team, and then they're going to get, comfortable in their surroundings, and they're going to ball out. So I don't know. I don't like it either.
It's definitely an unrealistic situation when it comes to football. I mean, it's not, like you said, it's not your routine. It's not, the one thing that people don't realize about the NFL is everybody is really into the 40 time, right? Skill position, whatever. After you run your initial, say you have a decent NFL career like I did, after the first 40 you run at the combine, you really never run a 40 again. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. I know when I went,
bring you in, I know you got traded.
Okay, so I'm trying to explain that. So in my last year, my ninth year, I got released by, I want to say it was Tampa Bay or whatever, and so on and so forth, off of an injury. 3 teams brought me back in. Pittsburgh brought me back in, Jacksonville, and someone else brought me back in. And they asked me to run a 40, and I looked at them like they were crazy. Mm-hmm. Because you don't ask a 9-10-year vet to run a 40.
Right.
Okay, nobody cares about that. That is literally for fans. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like in basketball now where they say, well, he's a guard forward. Mm-hmm. All these terms are made up for the casual fan. That's just like now when they talk about defensive ends, they call them edge rushers. It's just a sexy term. They don't worry about that those logistical numbers. They're more about how much production do you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good barometer to get a feel for a kid. And the more time you can spend watching the kid, it gives you an opportunity to go to the kid's university or to meet the kid, to shake his hand. You know, they give him the, I forgot what those intelligence tests are.
Wonderlic
test. And, you know, they get to spend time with you, ask them questions. But honestly, it's more about who can play ball. And I don't think if you just go off of the film that you're going to lose that much. I mean, a lot of times you want to see their athletic ability, their ability to bend, their flexibility. But I don't really think the combine is a great gauge of individual talent and possible production. So
agreed, but I watch it every year, and I think it's awesome, and it's good to do that. But I think I agree it's bad, but just as an event,
it's part of the pomp and circumstance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
We want as much football as possible, and we can't put these kids in pads in late February to have to play another All-Star game or whatever. So what can we do? We can test them. You know what I mean?
Really, the film, talking to your coaches, you know, all the background check, and then like the Senior Bowls and all those things, I think those are fantastic because, you know, you get to watch the people do one-on-ones against each other and really compete against people who haven't maybe played, and then you can just do that and, you know, we can see. But then, again, there's still that guy that has a nose for the football. You might get him in a one-on-one, but for some reason he's just good at guessing snap counts, or he's just good at just finding a way. Some guys just, you know, I hate dropping names, but I remember Alt Maiden just made plays, right? Somehow he would just find a way to make plays on our field, and it didn't make sense why, but he just could do it. So,
let's take it back to your pro day combine experience. You know, because I'll share you share yours, and I'll share mine.
I think they're going to be slightly different. Mine's going to take maybe a minute. Let you guys check the counter. So here's my combine pro day experience. I was with my roommate, LaShane Sadler at the time. Congratulations, he just became a grandpa. Shout out to LaShane.
Big Daddy.
He's a grandpa. He's our first grandpa that I know of. Anyway, so we had we were sitting at the house and we were indulging. And, you know, I look over Shane and I say to him, you know, the pro day is tomorrow, right? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I heard it's tomorrow. Let's go work out. He's like, sounds good to me.
Now, what time was it?
11:30. I don't know. It was
11 p.m. You just suddenly decided to
and
work
we were
out,
getting drunk at the time, so I thought, you know, what's the worst that can happen? So my preparation was I didn't finish my drink, and I got up in the morning. Now, to preface this to everybody who might be listening that may not know me very well, I had graduated from college the year before. I was at school just to be in school because I wasn't ready to go work. I wasn't really in a specific grad program. Football wasn't really going well, and everything's ended up, and I just had a lot of, I don't really want to swear on the show much, but I had a lot of fucking in me that day. And so I said, okay, let's go do this. And the bad part was LaShane was supposed to say no, but he said yes. So now it was a game of chicken. Now here's the problem. We get up in the morning, and no one had slept that off and came to their senses. So I'm like, you ready to go? He said, yep. So we get in the car, we drive over.
How much sleep had you had?
What do you think that workout was? Probably 8 or 9 in the morning. I don't know. That's that part.
Well, you had to be there at like 7 o'clock in the morning just to stand there.
We weren't late. We weren't late, right? The worst part is, to make it even worse, I was trying to work with Frank Murtha at the time, who became your agent, right? So I don't have an agent or anything, but I'm actually trying to get a job with him. I don't even tell him that I'm going to do this, right? So I'm trying to go work with him. I'm trying to kind of help him recruit. So you get up there, and they're like, who's your agent? And I know he's over there like saying, don't you fucking tell these people that I'm your agent. Murtha, right? So I
just was there.
Yeah, because it was a pro day, so your agent came up there. So I know he's probably cringing. Like,
well, Notre Dame didn't always allow agents in, but maybe because he was a Notre Dame guy.
My recollection is that he was there. Don't mess with the story. Let me fill in the gaps if my story might get messed up. So anyway, long story short, I go there and I put on one of the worst performances probably a man could ever do. I remember the 40 seemed so long. I want to know when they told me that to line up at the 40, I want to ask how many timeouts I got. I'm like, I don't know if I could run 40 yards nonstop. I ran 5 hours and 22 minutes, I think, in the 40, something ridiculous. Then the one thing I wanted to do was bench press because I could lift no matter what. So I'm thinking if I give these dudes about like 40 reps, somebody at least write my name down. But when you run that poorly, no one wants to see you lift. And at that point, they ask people whether they can lift.
When they leave your drill. While you're about to, that's when you know it's a bad sign. I
think I may have fallen during the short shuttle. It was bad. I remember thinking to myself, how do I get out? Like, if I quit, is it worse to keep going or to quit? I don't know. Either one, both of these things are unprecedented, right? And then Shane and I got back in the car, and I was like, so how'd it go? He was like, yeah, all right. So we went back and then talked about it. So I don't remember the aftermath too much on that. I don't remember how much heat we took. But our buddy Emmett Mosley loves to bring the story up. He loves, you would think it happened last night, the way he tells the story. So
did you appreciate the humor in the moment after you did it? Like, did you have to post game? Did you post game and laugh about it? Or were you like,
I kind of remember thinking halfway through it, like, what the hell? I can't hear you, Dave. Hold on a second. Let me try to switch my input. If you can hear me, why don't you get out and get back in? Are you back? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know even who's watching because I didn't look into it, but obviously Oliver hasn't been paying his cable bill, and he has bad internet access. So when he dials back in, then we'll get this thing back started. But yeah, that was my pro day, and it sucked. And so we're gonna move right on to his pro day when he comes back, because it was going. Needless to say, my name didn't get called, and I wasn't invited to any camps, nor did I really want to go. So, cautionary tale, guys. When you're making decisions when you are hanging out at 11:30 at night. Normally, I say no decision made after midnight is a good decision, but I think I'm gonna have to bring that back. Maybe it was the time zone. In South Bend, we didn't do daylight savings time, so maybe I should have known. I got tricked. I was duped. That's what it was. With spring forward, we didn't spring forward, so it should have been 12:30, but it was still 11:30. So therefore, yeah, that's the reason why I had my pro day. So the only saving grace is no one has it on video. No one saw it, and no one will ever see it. So probably wasn't even as bad as I say. In retrospect, I think I did a little better than I did. I think I may have set a record or something. It was the slowest time I ever created. But anyway, so we're going to wait for Oliver to come back on. But I watched a couple of these videos. Let me see if I can pull up a video while we wait. I thought the NFL draft was great. I like the side stuff that went on. Getting to see some of the videos. But let's see if we can pull up some of these videos here. Did you guys see the body snatching and the technique and the embarrassment? So let me run this back. You guys might not be able to appreciate it, but this guy gets drafted. Big boy gets drafted. His girlfriend likes to share the moment in there. She's on there, but she's getting too much camera time. So the mom, look, hold on, you gotta stop. The mom comes in here because she done told her about this. Don't have your girl coming over here getting all in the video. We don't want her. She's day one. She's got on a poly prep jersey, so she's day one. This had to be his high school girlfriend or something, and he said she could come, and she was going to stay to the side. But she's there. He's covered his face. Obviously, looks like he might cry, or maybe he knows his mom is coming. I don't know what he hears. But she's there. But look, the thing is, she tries to resist. Get off. Nope, I'm not going. I will snatch you. Like, anyone who raised a big guy like this, she's got snatch ability, right? So she snatched her. Now she's giving him the hands, and she's telling him, I feel cheated that they didn't pan back. And look at the look on his face. He just got drafted. He's so embarrassed. He's trying not to laugh. Look at that. He knows he got to keep it right with this girl later. But his mom is in his ear. This is the best person in his life right here. This person that comes in here and eases the tension with the WWF move. I think this person right here is your best friend. This is the first person you put down because he's so embarrassed. Oh, national TV. My mom snatched my girl off. My girl's mad. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for jumping on me. Oh, this is so good. I don't know what to do. I just got drafted. I should be happy, but I'm so embarrassed right now. Please pan to somebody else. I don't know. This is probably my tape of the day. So we're gonna try to find a different tape that I think that I saw that was pretty good. So it's one of my other favorites because there's lots to see. There was lots to see here. Let me find something else that we go through that I thought was just fantastic. You know, going by with the houses and seeing everybody in the different homes, I thought that was kind of cool. The first shot that we got, I didn't like, which was the first draft pick, and I thought to myself, here's this guy, you just got drafted, best day of your life, and it's just you, your mom, and your dad. Nobody out there clowning, no one else to have fun with. So, I don't know. I would love to think that my son, if he ever got drafted, or if my daughter, gets drafted in any professional sport, would be happy if it was just me. But realistically speaking, they'd like to find a little more than that. All right, let me pull up this other clip that I'd like to see. So on this one here, they're at draft day. They're at Mike Vrabel's house. Mike Vrabel is a friend and old teammate of Oliver. And there's a guy in the background here dropping one, and he's got the mirror. How on earth do you not close the door? Because that's already nasty. We're not even going to talk about the guy in the super suit. But how on earth are you dropping the deuce? There's a girl right here who's looking at you dropping this deuce too. So she sees you doing it. Is that how they do it in the Vrabel house? And no one knows it does the mirror. I know that mirror wasn't just placed there before the draft. So how on earth did you not notice that there's a mirror in the background while you decide that you need to relieve yourself? So again, one of the many shenanigans that I liked on the day. So let's find the next one. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. Let's find out. Let's have fun with this. What else can we talk about from draft day? Okay. I know that I was told. Here, hold on. Here's another one. Let's find out. This here. Now, this one, I have to say, I can appreciate, right? So you're sitting there on draft day, right? And your girl comes on, and you have her next to you, and you say, listen, baby, I'm going to share this moment with you. I'm going to do whatever. She gets, Brandon, give me my damn phone back, all right? You try to snatch my phone while I'm trying to get drafted and do whatever you want to go do. And this is not the day for you to try to start snooping. So Oliver's calling back in, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce this. I just think that's just not the day. Maybe you could pick a different day that you want to start becoming the A1 driver's seat. But this is my day, and you are not going to clown me while on the show. If you pan back, you can see how the mom is giving the dirty side eye too. But now she's embarrassed forever. CeeDee Lamb has later come forward to say that he thought that we were all making it go too far, so he's trying to reconcile with his girl. But he did check her, lock the phone, make sure if she does snatch it again, we know what we're going to do. So anyway, so those are my favorite highlights from the draft. I do think that being able to see all the people in their houses was kind of cool, and just kind of watching it. I think the draft day where you get to see the guys in the crazy suits walking the stage and some of the fans, that stuff is cool too. So, hopefully we can get more of that in the future. But maybe some more virtual stuff would help us out as well too. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this show up for the day, guys. We do have the technical difficulties, but we will be back. This Big Flo O coming to you live.
But now the day has come, but let you know where I'm coming from, yeah. Yeah, baby, look what you done for me.